Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Wasatch Photonics YouTube channel. Today we are going to continue our ENLIGHTEN series with a video discussing the various spectroscopic techniques available in your software. This is a continuation of our previous video, so if you need help downloading or navigating the software, please check out our ENLIGHTEN playlist for specific videos to help you with what you need. The link to the playlist can be found below in the description box. If you are following along with the product manual, you'll want to jump to section 4.2.3, entitled Raman Technique. If you need a copy of the manual, there is a link also in the description box. This video will be dedicated to elaborating on Raman Technique, reflectance/transmission technique, and what steps need to be taken so that each respective measurement can be collected appropriately. If the user desires to collect Raman measurements, a Wasatch Photonics Raman spectrometer is required. For this demo, I am using a Raman spectrometer with a 785 nanometer embedded laser. As a reminder, Raman technique is utilized to capture scattered light from a sample or analyte when a monochromatic light source is used for illumination. Step 1 for collecting a Raman measurement within the ENLIGHTEN software is to select Raman technique from the drop-down menu, demonstrated like this. Step 2, now that the software brings us to Setup tab, is to collect a dark measurement by first making sure the aperture of the spectrometer is completely blocked or capped, and second, by clicking the Take Dark button directly below the live spectrum window, demonstrated like this. If the user still has to decide on their final measurement settings, it's okay. Once the dark is collected and the live Raman spectrum can be seen, the user can adjust the settings as needed. Of course, the dark measurement will need to be recollected after the user has a better idea of the final measurement settings. Also, don't forget to recap the spectrometer's aperture to block the light from getting to the detector. Remember that in order to collect a dark measurement while in Capture tab, the user must click on the dark light bulb icon above the spectrum chart, shown here. A dark measurement is needed to subtract any offset in the detector signal from the raw Raman spectrum such that the resulting dark corrected measurement is proportional to the intensity. Step 3 for collecting a Raman measurement is to save the measurement by utilizing the Save button above the spectrum chart in Capture tab. Moving forward, in order for the user to collect reflectance and/or transmission measurements, a Wasatch Photonics spectrometer is required. However, the exact model of the spectrometer will depend on the wavelength range of interest. For example, if the sample is expected to reflect or transmit light in the near-infrared range, then the spectrometer's detector will have to accommodate those measurements. The differences between reflectance and transmission of light can be better explained by examining the diagram on your screen. Reflectance represents the amount of light which is reflected off of a material, being neither absorbed nor transmitted. Transmission represents the amount of light which successfully passes through a material without being absorbed, reflected, or scattered. Step 1 for collecting a reflectance or transmission measurement within the ENLIGHTEN software is to select reflectance/transmission technique from the drop-down menu like this. For step 2, since we again find ourselves in the Setup tab, a reference measurement must be collected. Recall that the reference measurement is collected directly from the illumination source only. After an appropriate warm-up period of your illumination source, the reference measurement can be collected by clicking the Take Reference button directly below the live spectrum window demonstrated here. If measurement settings have yet to be determined, it's okay. Just like collecting darks for Raman measurements, the reference measurement can be taken and then retaken throughout the optimization process. In fact, it's recommended that the reference measurement be updated frequently throughout the experiments to make sure the illumination light source drift is accounted for. For transmission measurements, the reference should be a direct measurement of the illumination light source with the transmitting sample removed from the optical path. For reflectance measurements, the reference could be likewise a direct measurement of the illuminant, or perhaps of a diffuse reflection standard like Spectrolon, or an appropriate synthetic resin that has equal reflectivity at all wavelengths to be measured, such as Delrin or Teflon. Step 3 in this process is to collect a dark measurement. Since we are still in Setup tab, all that needs to be done after blocking the spectrometer's aperture is to click the Take Dark button, as demonstrated previously for a Raman measurement. Now we are ready for the fourth and final step, to collect the reference or transmission measurement. To do so, click over to Capture tab from Setup tab, like this, and use the Save button directly above the spectrum chart area. Be sure that the reference measurement is up to date, so to speak, and if it needs to be recollected, simply click the white light bulb icon like this. Don't forget to either remove the sample from the light path or replace the sample with the diffuse reflectance standard. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any comments, please leave them down below or please visit our website to contact us. We hope that this was instructional in helping you better understand how to collect Raman and reflectance/transmission measurements within the ENLIGHTEN software. Have a great one.